In 2019, when I had no friends, I would always go to my brother into his social circle and play with the people he brought to us. We'd jump on the trampoline in the summer. And there was this one ginger guy. He would he would always bully me because I was really chubby. He said the trampoline might break if I get on top of it too. And I, because I was so young back then, I always ran to my mother and told her about it. And she said, yeah, do something about it. Say that's not okay. He's on our grounds right now. He has to behave. Guess what I did? I ran back through the garden and told him exactly that. But he kept on going. He still bullied me. He still swore at me. But I really want to make it count. To finally be integrated into a social circle. And now I've had the chance. I can finally go to my brother and his two friends. And also have two friends. So I was deeply convinced that the ginger guy was my friend. We would meet up in the afternoon online and play Fortnite together. And he swore at me. He kept throwing slurs because I kept dying too much. And now he was like 2 years younger than me at this point. And I was really convinced that he was better than me. Because he took like the dominant position of swearing at me. And I felt small. So I play Minecraft alone after a time. Because the guy was making me feel so bad that I just needed time alone, away from my family, away from everyone basically. Kept isolating myself. But do you know the craziest part about that? I still missed playing with him. I still missed playing with the villain that kept throwing slurs at me and was bullying me because of my appearance. I would have rather played with people who make me feel bad and bully me than to be alone. You know, I was craving for that social interaction. So you can blame me, the small child who hadn't had friends in a year and now saw the chance. And then was convinced that the guy who bullied him, who made him eat more of the chocolate, was his friend. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is a quote that's been quite popular in the few last years. And I think it's quite true. So, first in a friendship, first in any friendship, you have to look at, do you actually enjoy the time that you have with these guys when you're putting in effort? Or are they just taking something from you? Because I've known enough people that don't put in the efforts and expect you to do 90% just so they can show up to your birthday once a year and give you the €5. It's quite sad when I think back to it, because if I would have known that the friendship wouldn't ever last like this, because these we call toxic friends, right? And now I don't call them friends at all. They are not your friends. Ask yourself, would you miss the people if they were gone, or just the habit that you were doing together? If your best gaming buddy just stopped playing, had you have you had a real connection with him, like known a lot of things about him, his dreams, his ambitions? Or did you just like doing 1v1s with him because you'd win against him? You gotta cut out the friends that make you feel bad or make you do bad habits. I was on a party in 2022. And I was going with four mates, and one of them was quite he's got ADHD, and he's almost jumpy the whole time, wants to do stupid and so he always pressured other guys into drinking more alcohol, more beers. He took pride in being able to gaslight people into drinking more of the dirty drug. And he was that good at it that he packaged it almost in like a gift way so that it felt good doing it, because he hyped you up so much that you now felt good about doing it. But we know alcohol is bad, right? So how can that happen? How can we call him a friend? He just blocked our vision and manipulated us, took advantage of some of our insecurity. Same thing with the ginger guy I've talked to you about. Seriously, if you now think of a guy who kind of makes you feel bad or makes you do bad things, seriously reconsider if you want to be by their side anymore. You know, friends are the guys that share wholesome moments with each other, that deepen a connection, that share the dinner table together, not share the vape together in the bathroom stall. These are not your friends. This should be a serious wake-up call for you. So, if you feel lonely, so lonely that you think that you have to get friends, even if they make you feel bad, you have no respect for yourself. Because you wouldn't hurt other people, would you? Why do you hurt yourself? Do you understand what I'm saying? You're putting yourself kinda in a chamber where you're getting poked from all the sides and now it hurts. But you keep staying in it because it feels good. You're scared of being alone. It's seriously better to be alone than to have people who pressure you into drinking. Have respect for yourself. And if you now have these 5 people, maybe it's 3 people around you that you spend the most time with, what do they make you do? Do they have a positive influence on you? Will they hype you up? Will they point out your mistakes? Will they exercise with you and go on adventure stuff like jumping into a cold lake in the morning at 8 o'clock because you've had a meeting that you actually want to do something new and something to grow together? I had these mates which would always come over for my birthday, and then we would give them dinner, and we'd go over to our other, it's kind of like another house with where you would put all the rubbish, like the things you don't need anymore, and just stack them on top of each other. That's where we slept. And the whole evening, they were scrolling on TikTok and Instagram. And after that, it just clicked. I do not want to have friends like these. I do not want friends that make me feel disregarded when I'm giving a birthday party, which has to be wholesome, which I actually want us to have deep conversations and a good time while playing darts. Instead, they just lay on the sofa. Surround yourself with wholesome people that make you grow. As good as it might feel not to be alone, you should rather be alone and consume videos of people like me than to have friends which let you skip class, let you eat chocolate, overindulge in TikTok. Because you know what's good for you. You know when you have a good time. It's not when you scroll on TikTok like the others. It's not when you have to ask every 10 minutes if you want to do something because you're bored out of your mind. It's the guys that will actively try to hype you up for something. Going on a walk at midnight, if you have one of these parties. Or maybe even sleep. Sleep is the wise choice in this case, actually. If you have people that discourage you, that have a negative outview on life, these guys will also reflect in your image of the world. Like, what do you think would happen if you were locked in a room with 5 other people and all of them were conspiracy theorists? Of course you would align to their traits. Of course you would slowly over time believe more and more that the earth is flat, because you're just seeing the coin from one side, but you have the other side, which you should see, which is the good one. Yeah, so really watch out. And if you feel lonely, I believe that you can get out of your loneliness by becoming proud of yourself. If you do, if you live more of a purposeful life, waking up with a mission in the morning, it could be things as small. It could be things as small as saying, I'm gonna finish that portrait today that I've been working on yesterday. And I'm gonna give it my all. Because if you keep working on yourself while alone, you're the only one that spends 100% of the time with. And if you have no influences, you decide who will shape you. Who will shape you and how you will shape yourself. Will you overeat? Or will you stick it down to just 3 meals a day without snacks? Will you watch me or some black pill guy that says that you have to be beautiful to have friends? These are all things you can decide. And I would much rather be alone and shape me in that way than to be surrounded by people because I feel the need for social interaction that they don't give me, while they actively shape me into something worse. I really hope this helps and can give you some perspective. Don't be scared of what might happen if you don't have the friends anymore. Like, don't just cut your friends off entirely, not in a cringe way, but like slowly reduce your time with them. Pull back until you've reached the point where you can't hear them anymore, where they can't shape you anymore, and slowly you're growing into strangers. This might sound quite sad, but it's not. It's like reducing a drug, really. Right. You got this. I'm very certain.